Hi guys, I'm Leo, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective, and in this video I'll be doing my predictions for WrestleMania. So first off we have the 6-woman tag team match between Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair and Naomi taking on Damage Control's Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane and Asuka. For me, I have Team Babyface, so Cargill, Belair and Naomi to get the win here, pretty much because Cargill isn't going to lose her first proper match. I know she was in the Rumble and she didn't win that, but as far as proper matches go, with like where we get to see her in ring like the first time in WWE, she's not going to get a win. She's not going to get the loss here, and I think she's the one that's going to make the winning pin as well. And plus, Damage Control love to lose all the time. I don't understand how Asuka and Kairi are even tag champs, because all Damage Control seem to do is lose when the lights are on bright and when it's important. So yeah, for me, pretty easy prediction to start off the video with Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair and Naomi getting the win over Damage Control. Following that, we have the final testament of Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain taking on Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. They have not referred to themselves as the Pride on TV, so I'm not going to refer to them as the Pride here, though it makes perfect sense why they would be called that. But yeah, for me, I've got Lashley and the Profits get the win here, basically because they've had the Final Testament have had the better of Lashley and Profits for the better of the whole feud. You know, this is a 3-month feud now that has gone way too long. And for me, Lashley's due a win at WrestleMania, and so are the Profits won the Tag Team Showcase last year, but Lashley didn't get on the card last year due to unforeseen circumstances. But you know, Bobby, for me, as I've said in my Landscape of WWE after WrestleMania videos, that Lashley should be getting a push after WrestleMania towards back into the main event scene, in my opinion. And I feel like this starts here with a win for him and his team. I know that I love Karrion Kross. I'm a very big fan of Karrion Kross and wish that he was also pushed into a more prominent position, but I don't think that's going to be the case, at least not this time anyway. And as I said, it's more due to the fact that the heels have had so much offense and have got the better of Lashley that so much over the last few months that it makes sense to go for the babyface win here. And as I said, Lashley is probably more deserving than Kross of a big Mania win, just compared out of the two. So yeah, for me, Bobby Lashley and the Profits to beat the Final Testament here. Following that, we have Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio taking on Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio representing the LWO. This whole coming together of a match is what I would describe as being in front of an open net in football and missing completely. You have two Latino teams that want to go to war against each other, and you have a match at WrestleMania you've been kind of setting up for months. You have a match at WrestleMania. You have LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, 5-on-5 or however you want to do it. The fact that they're doing a regular tag match and you're having one member of the LWO who's very important in Carlito not be in this match is ridiculous to me, because you could have quite easily done Rey, Carlito, Raul, Joaquin and Zelina versus Santos, Dom, Angel, Humberto and Elektra, and it would have been a good, decent match, some really good Lucha Libre on show, really good aerial based wrestling on show in a mixed tag match. And they've decided to add Dragon Lee to the LWO, which then means that Legado to LWO is even more outnumbered. And the whole reason of having Dom involved is to even the numbers out, I thought. But no, they've now decided to have this not regular tag team match, which, again, it's a shame, because it would have made even more sense if Legado and LWO had got into the 6-man ladder match, or LWO had got into the tag match at Stand and Deliver. But it turns out they didn't get into any of those matches either. Anyway, so Legado went from having more or less 3 chances to get on WrestleMania to be on none of them. On not either Stand and Deliver or WrestleMania, which I think is doing them pretty dirty, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so the match itself should be decent. You know, Ray is, as much as I hate him, he is a reliable guy. Dragon Lee is very impressive since coming up to the main roster. Dom is great. I love Dom. And Santos Escobar is fantastic. I feel like he is the future of Lucha Libre with Andrade. Not the next Rey Mysterio, but, you know, as far as that kind of style goes, it's Santos and Andrade who should be kind of heading all that up. But for me, not only am I going with my head, but I feel like this should be what we're going with. And 100% Dom and Santos should be winning this match due to no other reason than Rey Mysterio cannot do 2 years in a row of not putting Dom over. Because and Santos as well. Santos and Dom deserve to go over here. Rey is the past. He doesn't need wins at WrestleMania anymore. He shouldn't have won against Dom last year, and he shouldn't be winning here either. And Dom and Santos need the win more. And I'll be mega pissed if Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio come out with a win here, because they are... It's not that they're not deserving, it's just that Dom and Santos deserve it more and need it more, so they can almost be handed the torch that Dom should have ripped out of Rey's dead hands last year. But yeah, for me, as I said, Dom and Santos get the win over Rey and Dragon Lee here. Following that, we have the United States Championship match where Logan Paul will defend the championship against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. For me, I have Logan Paul to retain here. Why? I don't know why. Well, I do know. I think this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest matches to predict of the weekend. I don't think they're going to put the US title on Randy, just because I feel like he's above that. Kevin Owens has already lost to Logan Paul. I feel like having Logan lose to Rollins and Roman last year, I feel like having a win over Randy Orton is a pretty significant win for someone like Logan Paul. It's just a case of where does his US title reign go from here, because obviously having Kevin Owens and Randy go for his title at WrestleMania means that it's kind of going to take a step down in a way, but that might not necessarily be a bad thing, because it can build people up to challenge Logan for it. I think it makes Logan a legit superstar and someone that can be concentrated on in the future. Do I think he'll be a world champion? Not really, but yeah, I think with SummerSlam being in Cleveland, which is where he's from, they're going to want to build him up over the next few months, heading into SummerSlam being the next big PLE of the year. And I think that starts with him getting the win over Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, where, as I said, I think, who do I think will take the pin? I think Kevin's probably going to take the pin, but Logan will see it as I've beaten Randy Orton, which is a huge accomplishment for anyone who's like feels relatively new like Logan in WWE. So, as I said, I think it's going to be one of the better matches. It's going to be definitely enjoyable and definitely one of the harder matches to predict overall. But I have Logan to retain the United States Championship here. Following that, we have LA Knight taking on AJ Styles in a kind of a grudge match. Yeah, this one I feel like is a definite potential show stealer, or the one that's definitely not being considered as much as it should be. For me personally, I have no idea. I want both guys to win. I think both guys deserve the win. I talked about it in my video about WrestleMania on Monday, that I have genuinely no idea who's going to win this match. I'm sat firmly on the fence for this one, that I'm happy no matter what happens in this match. But there was a gun put to my head and I had to choose a winner. For me, it's LA Knight, just due to the fact that I feel like AJ Styles can probably come back from a loss at WrestleMania better than LA Knight could, just because of his kind of legacy and his name value in general can probably help him out in that way, whereas LA Knight still feels new on the main roster, hasn't been going for too long, not as long as Styles anyway, isn't a former world champion like Styles. But for me, both guys should be in the main event scene, both guys should be having major matches throughout the next year. And yeah, it's a match I'm very looking forward to. I can't wait to see, just for the match quality and just to see who wins and kind of where that leads after WrestleMania, because as I said, I have big investments in both guys, two of my favourite guys in WWE overall. So yeah, I say for me, positives all around no matter what happens in this one. And yeah, as I said, one on forward to, but I have as hard as it is to choose, I've gone with LA Knight to get the win here. Following that, we have the six tag team ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, where we have the reigning champions, the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, taking on the Awesome Truth, taking on the New Day, taking on Theory and Waller, taking on New Catch Republic, taking on DIY. There we go. I think I've named everyone, hopefully. Yeah, I think this has the potential of being either very, very fun or very, very not so fun. I've said in a previous video that I did on Monday that there's a possibility that 12 men in a ladder match could be overkill and could actually harm the match more than anything else. Maybe if sticking it to 4 teams or 3 teams maybe would have been a bit better, but you know, maybe it's the more the merrier, and they're gonna have a really, really fun match and steal the show in a way, similar to how the Tag Team Showcase match is viewed from last year. But for me, there's a lot of teams I don't see winning this one. Obviously, I don't see the New Day winning, I don't see DIY winning, and I don't see New Catch Republic winning. Judgment Day could retain. I don't feel like they're going to, just because their reign's been very long, very dominant. I think it's time that we get Priest and Balor more heading up the singles division and maybe having Dom and JD be in the tag division. So then Priest can build himself to cash in Money in the Bank and be a successful world champion. And Finn Balor just to get back to a point where he is seen as like one of the best wrestlers in the world. So yeah, and as for Waller and Theory, there's rumours that they may not even get into the match and it could be the Hardys or something. I hope they're in the match because they have fully earned a match at WrestleMania over the past year. Well, at least Waller has anyway. But for me, though, I think it could go either way. For me, I've got the Awesome Truth to retain here and become the new Tag Team Champion, just because it pays off the story of R-Truth and the Judgment Day. And yeah, for me, it just makes the most sense overall. And as I said, I think just to finish that story off, we get new champions, though I'm not best pleased about the fact that we're getting 2 singles guys win the Tag Team Championships again. It just seems like the way they're going with it, really. So yeah, my prediction is for Awesome Truth to become the new Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Following that, we have Io Sky defending the WWE Women's Championship against Bayley in what is probably the best build-up women's match of WrestleMania probably in the last couple of years, I'd say. It was better than anything that was built up for WrestleMania 39. This has been absolutely fantastic, but I feel like they could have had more promo time, but I understand with the whole Japanese thing with Io, they probably can't do a lot of promo stuff. But I mean, having beatdowns every week wasn't great, but anyone who watches WWE is invested in Bayley getting the win here. I am one of those people, and that's why I had Bayley to become the new women's champion at WrestleMania. I think she's fully deserving of it. This has been a long time coming. I know she's been a champion going into WrestleMania. At WrestleMania 33, she defended the Rollins Championship. But over the past year, especially with Damage Control, it hasn't been the success I think that people thought it was going to be when they first came together. But it's made a star out of Io, and it's going to make an even bigger star out of Bayley, who kind of dropped off a bit, but has now come back into the forefront of WWE, where she is deserving to be. You know, I feel like she's always seen as the 4th of the 4 horsewomen, and that shouldn't be the case. She's probably one of the best of the women, and so yeah, she's fully deserving of this big moment at WrestleMania. I'd say she's about as deserving as Drew is of his. But as I said, I think it's going to be there. I think she's deserving. I feel like it's going to be a very good match, provided it's given time. I think both women's championship matches are going to be very good. But yeah, for me, I don't think there's any doubt that Bayley is becoming the new champion here. Following that, we have the Intercontinental Championship match, where the champion Gunther will be defending against Sami Zayn. For me, I have Gunther to win, and quite convincingly. I feel like you cannot have Sami Zayn lose to Bronson Reed 2 weeks out of WrestleMania and then have him win. For me, it's a simple case of Sami is not in any way convincing me at any point that he can beat Gunther, let alone that he will beat him. And as for that, even if they were to last minute add Chad Gable in, which I don't think they're going to do, and they've properly screwed over Chad Gable as far as a WrestleMania match goes, because if anything, they should have just had him be in the tag ladder match with Otis, but they're not even doing that. So for me, you know, Chad Gable is being relegated to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown, which he probably won't win either. And Sami Zayn, for me, isn't convincing enough to become Intercontinental Champion. I don't think he can beat Gunther. I don't think he's as good a wrestler as Gunther. Therefore, for me, Gunther will continue his legendary Intercontinental Championship reign, and we will see what happens as far as the next challenges go, because for me, we have to be looking at taking the title off Gunther so then we can build him up to a main event spot before Bash in Berlin. So yeah, very interested to see what happens with the Intercontinental title after WrestleMania, but it is not changing hands at WrestleMania in my opinion, and that I'm quite confident with. After that we have Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso in what should have probably been a street fight, but it's not. But we have twin versus twin, brother versus brother, all that good stuff. But for me, if they have Jimmy win, that is criminal in my opinion. Jey Uso is 100% winning this match. Jey has all the momentum going into this match. He's probably one of the biggest baby faces in the company right now, and it would be the silliest possible thing, especially after him losing to Roman at SummerSlam, to have him lose to Jimmy here. Do I think there'll be shenanigans? I mean, probably. It's the bloodline, isn't it? But no, if Jey loses this, it is such a drop of momentum, and just I don't think you can call Jey main event if he's losing to his brother at WrestleMania. I think this is one of the easier matches to predict, and yeah, Jey gets the win here and hopefully gets a decent push after WrestleMania as well. Following that, we have Seth Rollins defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre's going to win this match, and I am not happy about this at all. I feel like Rollins' title reign has gone a bit stale. I felt like this for a long time. I felt like the first time Drew challenged should have been the time that Drew won. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but there's a lot more to come out of Drew being world champion than not, or maybe someone else being world champion. But obviously, Punk and Drew is obviously the match for SummerSlam, or what people want to be the match for SummerSlam for the World Championship. There's also the case of Damian Priest. If Damian Priest loses the tag titles on night one and then cashes in after Drew McIntyre wins the world title on night two, I will become an even bigger fan of the Judgment Day. And it kind of comes full circle from Survivor Series when Drew helped Damian as well as the Judgment Day, but you could tell there was kind of that dysfunction between Drew and Damian. But I would love it if Damian cashed in, because I just want to see the downfall of Drew McIntyre. But I think as far as winning goes, I think Drew is going to be the world champion at some point this weekend. That I feel sorry for Rollins, to be fair. I thought Rollins is going to have like the worst weekend of his career. And I hate the fact that Drew is probably going to be world champion. But you know, sometimes I have to put my differences aside. Sometimes I've just got to be honest, and the honest thing is that my head is saying that Drew is going to be world champion coming out of WrestleMania, unfortunately, because I hate him. After that, we have Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch. For me, I have Rhea to retain here, basically because Becky doesn't need the win. As much of a star that she is, as much as, you know, it does kind of feel like in a way that is kind of Becky's a lot better when she's been doubted. Rhea is right. Becky has paid next to no attention to Rhea apart from the last couple of weeks, and I think that's going to serve to her downfall. It's a shame that Liv and to a point Nia, but I really don't like Nia, didn't get onto WrestleMania as they probably could have been and put in this match, but I'm glad they didn't. I feel like this should have been a one-on-one match. It's going to be a great match. As I said in the earlier part, the two women's matches are going to be very good. But for me, Rhea, I just feel like Becky isn't the person to beat Rhea. I thought it was going to be Jade, but Jade is now signed with SmackDown. I don't know who. Maybe it's Liv over the next couple of months. Go into a feud with Rhea after WrestleMania, I assume anyway. But yeah, for me, Rhea's way more deserving of the win. She needs the win more than Becky to beat to beat two of the 4 horsewomen at WrestleMania 2 years in a row is a huge accomplishment for someone who kind of came after that era. So yeah, for me, all the positives lie with Rhea Ripley retaining the World Championship here, but nothing against Becky. I thought it was going to be a great match, but Rhea needs this more than Becky. In what will be the main event of Night 1 of WrestleMania, we have The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, and obviously the winners of this match will determine the stipulation for the main event match of Night 2 between Roman and Cody, where if Cody and Seth win, there's no bloodline, the only person of the bloodline involved in the match will be Roman Reigns, and if Rock and Roman win, there will be bloodline rules for the main event, meaning that any member of the bloodline can pretty much anybody can get involved, anything. There's no rules. It's just a different way of saying no DQ or no holds barred, pretty much. For me, I have The Rock and Roman to get the win in the main event of Night 1. Because, one, they're not going to have The Rock come in and not have him win to WrestleMania. And Roman Reigns, he gets his 1000th win if he wins this wins either one of the nights, if he loses the other. So, yeah, I feel like it just makes the most sense. Rock comes in, he gets a win at WrestleMania. Roman gets his 1000th win before going on to the main event of Night 2, so all the momentum is on his side. And Bloodline rules, I feel like is going to work, but maybe not as much in the Bloodline's favour as they are making it out to be, which I will explain more in the main event part of the video. But for me, this is going to be a really exciting match. For me, this is the biggest match of the weekend. I think it's been built up the best. The Rock and Cody stuff has been a masterpiece of storytelling, and I very much am looking forward to see how this one goes down in general. I think it's going to get a lot of time. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans in this one. I'm surprised they've not made the tag match no disqualification as well, just so then Rock can make Cody bleed without having to break any rules behind the referee's back and all that bollocks. I expect Dan Angler to be the referee for this one, so he'll take a lovely little bump so that Rock can bust Cody open. And yeah, I feel it's going to be the more enjoyable, if not the match of the weekend probably, or at least it will be stakes wise and just feeling wise. But I mean, hopefully I'm hoping the main event Night 2 is going to be match of the night. But build up wise, this has been absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see this one go down. But for me, as I've said, Rock and Roman to win the tag match in the main event of Night 1. And finally, in the main event of Night 2, Roman Reigns defends the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Cody Rhodes. And I'm backing Cody for this one. I feel like if they were going to do it, they have to do it here. And the build has been great over the last couple of years. The whole finish the story thing didn't get old at all, I swear. It didn't get old. It didn't. It did. It got really old. But, yeah, for me, they have to finish the story. If they don't do it here, Cody is never winning that damn title. And I've heard all kind of theories about Triple H getting involved, about Rock turning on Roman. But I don't think this is going to be clean. As I said, I think it's going to be Bloodline rules. My head is saying that there's going to be a moment in this match where Rock, Roman, Solo, Jimmy, maybe some other members of the Bloodline are going to be in the ring, beating the crap out of Cody, taking full control of this match, and we're going to have every guy that Roman has tried or has screwed over completely, apart from the people that can't be there for AEW reasons, like Adam Copeland, Bryan Danielson, but LA Knight, AJ Styles, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, others that I can probably can't think of right now, to all come down and even the numbers up, or even get the numbers into the babyface advantage. So then it all comes down to Roman and Cody does finally finish his story. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be just the most dramatic main event of a WrestleMania we've had in a very, very long time. And I'm up for it. I can't wait to see it. I'm fully behind Cody. I've been behind Cody for, since all the Rock stuff happened. I backed him last year and I was wrong. I'm backing him this year as well. Yeah, it's going to be an emotional filled main event. I expect it to go quite long, like 30 to 45 minutes. But it's going to be, hopefully it's going to live up to the hype it's had of being an absolute masterclass. And yeah, I can't wait to see it go down. I know you guys can't wait for it to go down. I know everybody in the wrestling world can't wait for this stuff to go down. I worry that, after all this happens and all the smoke is cleared and we move on after WrestleMania, I worry what happens after that and how fans feel about Cody as us wrestling fans, we're very quick to, you know, turn on people. Very quick to turn on people. So I'm curious to see what Cody's fans are going to be like if he does get the win. I can imagine they're going to be all over Twitter. If he doesn't get the win, I will not be one of them. I'm on Twitter, but I don't use it like that. But as I said, it's going to be, drama and entertainment wise, one of the best matches of the year probably, and of the night as well. And yeah, it's probably the most anticipated main event we've had in a very long time, and I can't wait to see it go down. But for me, Cody becomes the new WWE champion. So those are my thoughts and predictions and opinions and everything when it comes to WrestleMania. It's probably one of the WrestleManias I've been looking forward to the most. I can't wait for this weekend. I am absolutely buzzing for it. I hope you guys are too. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you can't wait to see everything that goes down this weekend. I hope you guys have enjoyed all the WrestleMania content as well, all the landscape of WWE after WrestleMania, my top 40 WrestleMania matches, my fantasy booking, the Bloodline, and just talking about WrestleMania in general. I will be covering both nights of WrestleMania in separate videos on Saturday, one on Sunday, one on Monday, and standalone on Tuesday. So look out for those videos at the start of next weekend of this week. But yeah, as I said, I hope you all enjoy the weekend. I know I certainly will, no matter what goes down. I love WrestleMania and just the festivities around it. And yeah, so I thank you all for watching. I hit over 100 subscribers over WrestleMania period, which is very exciting for me anyway. I didn't think I'd get this many this quickly. It's only been a few years I've been doing YouTube. So I thank you all for that, and I'll ask you to like and subscribe, follow the Instagram, follow me on Twitter as well if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys later.